China released 1 million rabbits into the desert. Just 1 year later, the results left the entire world shocked and astonished. Under the harsh sky of the Kibuki Desert, where the scorching heat of the day suddenly gives way to the bone-chilling cold of the night, a quiet revolution is unfolding across the arid lands, places long seen as symbols of harshness and barrenness. From now on, the trees on the hill are gradually clothing themselves in the green hue of life. Yet, for generations, people have always believed that the desert cannot sustain life. Scarce rainfall and barren land made farming and herding nearly impossible. However, in the harsh desert of Inner Mongolia, there exists a place that has defied all such arid notions. Here, millions of rabbits are being raised, not only helping to stabilize the people's livelihoods but also generating a huge source of income. Right now, a vast, arid desert is being reborn in an almost unbelievable way. But this remarkable transformation isn't just the work of rabbits. Looking toward the horizon, groups of workers were still toiling amid the sand dunes, persistently battling the relentless erosion of the ceaseless winds. The carefully arranged squares in a checkerboard pattern act as a natural shield, helping to stabilize the sand, regulate moisture, and protect the fragile layer of soil beneath. This is part of a decades-long campaign to combat desertification. Beginning in the 1950s and 1960s, with strong government support, Inner Mongolia launched afforestation initiatives and established sand control stations. As a result, cities in the region have become increasingly greener, and these achievements continue to be built upon today. The Bobback Protective Forest Program continues to be implemented, alongside a ban on livestock grazing to prevent vegetation degradation. The fewer grazing animals there are, the greater the chance for nature to recover. By 2024, these efforts had yielded astonishing results. Inner Mongolia not only met but far exceeded its afforestation and desertification control goals. With the forestation plan completion rates reaching 113% and 148% respectively, this region now possesses China's largest forest area, spanning a vast 59 million acres. And grasslands now cover 45% of the area, the highest level since 1990. What was once just barren dust and sand has now been transformed into an endless sea of green grass. If you have the chance to visit this place, take a moment to listen to the wind gently rustling through the treetops, and occasionally, you may come across the slender footprints of deer imprinted on the sandy ground. This is proof of nature's miraculous revival. But what do rabbits have to do with this story? It may sound far-fetched to say that rabbits can transform a desert, yet in the Kibuki Desert, they play a vital role in the revolution against desertification. The story begins with a far-sighted local entrepreneur. He decided to invest in planting willow trees on the arid land, as this was a species that not only had excellent drought tolerance but also offered high economic value. However, after 3 years of growth, if not properly cared for, the willow trees lose their inherent value, particularly becoming unusable for producing high-quality paper. And this is precisely when the drake rabbits make their appearance. The drake rabbit is not just an ordinary breed. They possess an incredibly soft and silky coat, often compared to otter fur, and their value even surpasses that of their meat. But most importantly, these very bacteria help the willow trees grow vigorously, making the young shoots an ideal food source for rabbits. Meanwhile, the remaining trunk after harvesting bamboo shoots can still be utilized to produce paper and plywood. The willow tree's root system can grow over 100 meters long, helping it anchor firmly in the sand and prevent the desert from expanding. Drake rabbits have another special characteristic: an extremely rapid reproductive rate, which is 25 times faster than that of many other animal species. This has made them a crucial force, making significant contributions to environmental restoration efforts. Moreover, the Hogan Desert is also an ideal habitat for rabbits, which helps the fur of rabbits raised in Kibuki achieve exceptionally high quality. But the story doesn't end with just raising rabbits for their fur. In China, nothing goes to waste. Mature rabbits are used for food, and certain parts of them are utilized in traditional medicine. Rabbit meat is rich in nutrients, making it an excellent fertilizer source that helps improve the fertility of desert soil. Moreover, rabbit meat can also be used to produce biogas, an important renewable energy source. The combination of three elements, the willow tree, the hare, and the model of sustainable forestry, created a spectacular television program for kabuki. When the land became fertile, people began to cultivate and build greenhouses for large-scale organic agricultural production. Interestingly, jackrabbits have a very low need for drinking water. They eat dry grass and cannot digest grass seeds, thus unintentionally helping to disperse these seeds across the desert. The grass seeds, carried in rabbit droppings, fell onto the sand and sprouted when the rainy season arrived. And so, the vegetation gradually expanded, replacing the barren stretches of sand. This endeavor is not confined to the scope of a single farm. The pioneering entrepreneur hired nearly 100 bulldozers to level the sand dunes, fill in the gullies, and prepare the ground for planting willow trees. At the same time, he encouraged local residents to breed and expand their population of wild rabbits. After more than a decade, kabuki has undergone a dramatic transformation in its appearance. By 2013, over $400 million had been invested to build new villages, attracting more farmers and herders to settle. The area planted with willow trees has exceeded 3 million acres. Annually, over 3 million commercial rabbits are consumed, providing breeders with an average income ranging from $6,800 to $9,600. More than 10,000 households have escaped poverty and prospered. In 2017, when journalists set foot in Kabuki, they were astounded by the miraculous transformation of the place. From an arid land, Kabuki transformed into a prosperous countryside. Statistics show that the population of cottontail rabbits and jackrabbits reached 4.5 million, generating $76 million in revenue in that year alone. Recognizing its significant potential, the local government has continued to invest heavily in the rabbit farming industry. This has not only created numerous jobs but also contributed to promoting sustainable economic development. No one would have expected that such small rabbits could contribute to changing an entire desert. But with a sound strategy and long-term vision, what is unfolding in Kabuki stands as a vivid testament to humanity's ability to turn even the most inhospitable land into a place of abundance, provided we know how to effectively harness the available resources. Returning to China, the desert we are referring to is not only famous for its willow trees or rabbit species. This is also the site of the Zuma power plant, located on land once known as the Sea of Death. This area, spanning approximately 346 acres, is characterized by barren, arid land with scarce resources. But now, this place has been transformed into a special structure, composed of over 196,000 solar panels. The panels are intricately and skillfully arranged to form the image of a horse galloping at full speed. Desert, but also the world. This achievement was recognized by the Guinness World Records organization in 2022. The project has generated over 2.3 billion kilowatt-hours of clean, environmentally friendly electricity. This is equivalent to saving 760,000 tons of standard coal and reducing carbon dioxide emissions by 1.85 million tons, making a significant contribution to sustainable development goals. However, the benefits of this plant extend beyond power generation, also contributing to the prevention of desertification. The solar panels formed a protective layer, helping to retain soil moisture, reduce water evaporation, and diminish the speed of strong winds. This has indirectly contributed to improving the local living environment. Notably, it has also created opportunities to increase the income of local residents, as they can cultivate crops and raise livestock directly beneath the solar panels, creating a sustainable ecological environment for multiple industries, including desert tourism, to promote local economic development. In addition, solar panels not only generate electricity but also contribute to improving the living environment for the organisms beneath them. Numerous studies have demonstrated that planting grass beneath solar panels not only helps prevent soil erosion but also creates additional habitats for diverse animal species. The construction of this factory is part of China's long-term plan to establish a large-scale solar energy belt. The plant is expected to supply sufficient energy for the northern regions of the country, including Beijing. The Junma plant has the capacity to generate enough electricity to meet the annual consumption needs of approximately 300,000 to 400,000 people. And this is just one part of the overall project, as many other solar power plants will continue to be built across the country. The solar panels also reduce wind speed near the ground by 50%. This is a crucial factor in helping to retain sand and create conditions for vegetation to grow. Typically, it takes a decade to achieve these results, but here, we only needed a mere 4 years. As of the end of November 2020, the Junma plant had contributed to the greening of approximately 2,600 acres of desert land, transforming the arid region into a more fertile area while also improving the living conditions for many species of wildlife. Rabbits also play an important role in this project, contributing to the maintenance of the ecosystem beneath the solar panels. Along with other livestock like sheep and geese, they are grazed beneath the solar panels, which helps to naturally suppress weed growth. The solar panels need to be regularly cleaned with water. This water will then seep into the sand and soil below, making the environment more humid and creating ideal conditions for grass and plants to grow. Under the shade of the solar panels, water evaporation is significantly reduced, thereby keeping the pasture moist and allowing it to flourish. However, when the grass grows too tall, it can obstruct the plant's operations and reduce the efficiency of the solar panels. To address this issue, the employees used sheep and rabbits to weed, helping to maintain a clean environment beneath the solar panels. Rabbits not only provide natural lawn mowing but also contribute to creating a sustainable ecosystem. They help reduce the need for chemicals and bulky machinery while supporting the maintenance of regional biodiversity. As of June 2024, China is the world leader in operational solar power capacity. With a total installed capacity of 386,000 megawatts, China's solar power capacity in 2023 increased by an average of 39,999 megawatts per year, while the figure for the United States was only 8,137 megawatts. Notably, this is not the first time China has used animals as part of their solutions. Duck army. The use of materials in agriculture is not a new practice. Approximately 20 years ago, in China's northern Xinjiang Autonomous Region, 700,000 ducks and chickens were deployed to eliminate locusts, significantly reducing the damage to cornfields and grasslands. Research shows that ducks are more effective at eliminating locusts than chickens. A single duck can consume over 200 locusts per day, 3 times more than a chicken. Furthermore, their flocking behavior makes managing them significantly easier. Using ducks to eliminate locusts not only helps save costs but is also environmentally friendly, as opposed to using chemicals like pesticides. However, ducks are not always the optimal solution, as they require water and cannot survive in areas with extremely high temperatures such as Pakistan's desert regions. However, in practical locust control, the use of ducks has proven to be remarkably effective, eliminating up to 95% of locusts in some areas and nearly 100% in others. Although ducks are highly efficient animals, their use also has limitations. In arid and hot regions, ducks may struggle to survive and sustain themselves. Therefore, it is necessary to combine additional methods. In 2014, in China's Hebei, Xinjiang province and the Inner Mongolia region, chickens were used to control locusts. Particularly in Inner Mongolia, the target was the guinea locust, a species known for its remarkable running speed and strong flying ability. However, ducks are still considered the most effective animal for locust eradication due to their voracious appetite and resilient physical condition. However, not every duck breed is suitable for this task. Only the coe-duck breed, a common domestic duck, with its strong hunting instinct can effectively eliminate grasshoppers. On another front, the issue of desertification in Ru'er County, one of China's largest regions, is currently being remedied through the application of new methods. For 7 years, 800 farming households have grown grass to rehabilitate and restore desertified land. This weed control method has helped to rehabilitate a portion of desertified land, contributing to increased soil fertility and promoting the recovery process. However, to thoroughly prevent desertification, the authorities decided to employ a method that relies on animals, and this time, the main characters chosen were Tibetan yaks. Grazing livestock not only helps stabilize the soil but also promotes the development of the ecosystem. Tibetan yaks help compact the seeds into the soil, accelerating the grassland's recovery process. Studies indicate that moderate livestock grazing can promote the restoration of degraded lands and is an effective solution to prevent desertification in the region. However, these measures were still insufficient, so the authorities continued to seek solutions from the animal world. D, an animal capable of improving soil quality, has also been introduced for testing. These animals can contribute to solving land-related issues, while also aiding in the restoration of areas undergoing desertification, providing a fresh ecological environment, contributing to the sustainable development of the region. However, scientists from Oregon State University also uncovered a bitter truth. The grazing of goats and overgrazing on Mongolia's vast grasslands is causing severe damage to the local vegetation. Research indicates that overgrazing by livestock is responsible for approximately 80% of the vegetation loss in this area. This is not an exaggeration, as in 1990, Mongolia's economy underwent a profound transformation following the collapse of the Soviet Union. The country's livestock population has doubled, reaching 45 million, leading to increasing pressure on its grasslands. At the same time, it has also brought about significant changes in land management and natural resource conservation. In addition, rising unemployment following the dissolution of the Soviet Union led people to turn to livestock farming as a practical means of improving their lives. The result was that the population of D, one of the primary livestock species, multiplied at a staggering rate. It exerts immense pressure on the already arid vegetation, making it difficult to sustain life. Mongolia was not fertile land to begin with, and this exacerbated the problem of overgrazing. For example, the Samekobi region in the south of the country is known for its harsh climate. This relentless expansion is seriously threatening the stability of both the ecosystem and the global climate. As arable land shrinks, groundwater levels decline, and wildlife habitats are encroached upon. Mongolia is facing an extremely severe environmental crisis. However, not everything is negative. A recent study on the D farming model has shown that, although D has a negative impact on the grassland due to its excessive grass-biting behavior, however, they play an extremely important role in the natural cycle of the soil. As the D birds diligently forage for food, they perform an extremely important task, naturally fertilizing the soil, thereby promoting plant growth, simultaneously promoting the sustainable exchange of substances between animals and plants. It is this very interaction that creates a balance, allowing the land to regenerate and sustain the vitality of the grasslands. So what is the solution to remedy this situation? The answer is both simple and effective: establishing a proper grazing management system. Grazing schedules need to be properly adjusted to both allow grassland recovery and ensure the sustained growth of crops. A similar strategy is also being implemented in Spain, where the land is facing a serious risk of desertification. This country has developed a long-term plan to combat desertification, with a particular focus on the Andalusia region, known as the world's largest olive oil-producing area. Famed for its vast olive groves, this region now faces the threat of desertification without timely protective measures. The Spanish government has outlined a plan to restore ecosystems, enhance biodiversity, and manage livestock farming activities in a sustainable manner. A core component of this strategy is to adjust water resource utilization, ensuring that water supplies not only meet agricultural production needs but also fully serve the daily living requirements of the people. This indicates that an effective and sustainable land protection strategy requires close coordination among three key stakeholders: the managing body, government, the producers, farmers, and the scientists. Experts have also planned to create a desertification map, an online resource for monitoring and analyzing affected areas, to provide detailed information, supporting policymakers in making accurate decisions. Simultaneously, a national council will also be established to coordinate efforts for land restoration and environmental protection. While all of these initiatives are highly promising and truly impressive, experts assess that implementing a plan of this magnitude requires a considerable amount of time, perseverance, and collaborative resources from multiple parties. However, if this strategy is implemented appropriately, it could become a model for other countries to follow, contributing to the protection of land and the improvement of environmental quality for future generations. Dear viewers, the story of the desert, Kubuki, and the ragged rabbits has shown us a truth. Nothing is impossible when we have an open mind and a steadfast heart. The journey of reviving arid